Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Ashland Tonight News. Today is Thursday, February 1st, 2007, our very first show of the spring semester. Here's a look at today's top stories.
We've only been back here for about 3 weeks, and there's already some questioning of what is happening to the brand new coffee cups in Convo. We'll let you know what is going on.
And radio and TV personality Glenn Beck was here recently to talk to Ashbrook scholars about the war in Iraq. We'll fill you in on what he had to say.
And Miller Hall has been closed down since the semester has started. We'll find out coming up.
And the Career Development Center performed a makeover on one of Ashland University's students. We'll find out who it was and what changes he had to make. I'm Miranda Hover.
And I'm Kelly Reskowitz. You're watching Ashland Tonight News for local coverage you care about. Stay tuned, it's all coming up next.
Work cafe, and we will present China. We have 23 provinces, and there are 5 or 6 we call it autonomous region. So altogether we have actually 31 places in China. There are about 12 sections like climate, people group, culture, social custom, something like that.
Well, each month the International Student Services hosts a World Cafe in the Eagle's Nest of the Student Center. This is where international students put together a short presentation including the advertised country and a little bit about their background and share it with their peers at the university.
Well, radio and TV personality Glenn Beck came to Ashland with a strong message on the war in Iraq. Ashland Tonight News reporter Janelle Klein was there and has the story.
There's a lot of good things that are happening, but our media is not telling you.
500 people attended the John M. Ashbrook Memorial Dinner and were treated to Glenn Beck's views about the war in Iraq.
It's what I call the perfect storm. I believe this country is facing the greatest threat we have ever faced, and nobody is talking about it on television.
Beck said he wants Americans to be willing to look the war in the eye in search of the truth.
To urge people that they must quickly, urgently wake up those who are able or willing to wake up.
The audience of students and adults listened intently, even as Beck warned about an ominous future.
We are about to make peace because we are fatigued in war, we don't understand what's really coming, and we're about to make peace, and we're about to make peace with damn near literally the devil.
But Beck's overall message was an optimistic one. He says if America wakes up, we can still win the war on terror.
I want them to walk away with the understanding that there is great hope. America will never be defeated unless we allow it to happen.
For Ashland Tonight News, I'm Janelle Klein.
Ashland is feeling the loss of a local hero. Sergeant Jonathan P. Kingman was killed on January 20th in Iraq. He was serving as tank commander when an explosive device detonated near his vehicle. City residents showed their support for the Kingman family by lining up along Cottage and Claremont Avenue during his funeral procession. Veterans gathered in front of the American Legion to render a final salute.
Well, Dr. Finks named Greg Talego Director of Student Success and Retention, a new program designed to redevelop retention initiatives. Talego will begin the newly made position on February 5th. The goal of the department is to communicate with faculty, staff, and students and effectively develop new strategies for student retention rates. He is also the advocate for student needs in retention issues on campus. Working in conjunction with the Assistant Provost, the Faculty Retention Committee, Enrollment Management, and Student Life, the student intervention strategies are also being created. Talego is a Houghton College graduate and a 1999 graduate of AU's Bachelor's Plus program. As an employee of the university since 1998, he has already made connections that will help with the new initiative.
Mr. President, my parents believe that eating meals together will make our country strong. Is this something that you did when you were a kid?
I did eat with my family so long as my mother wasn't cooking.
Not good making fun of your mother.
even if you are president, but it is good to have dinner with your kids. We know the more often children have dinner with their families, the less likely they are to smoke, drink, and use drugs. So simply having dinner together can help your children forever, even if you're not a great cook.
My name's Andy McDonald. I ride this useless wooden toy for a living. It's hard. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm still lame. I do a trick called a 540. Took me a good 6 years to learn. There's a whole generation of skateboarders out there that are just as talented athletically as any basketball or football player. It takes somebody that's not going to be afraid to fall down a lot, because you definitely will fall down. You're not a failure until you refuse to get back up. Drugs are only going to hinder what I'm trying to do. That right there is my idea of getting high.
You're a good driver, a careful driver, and you don't stand a chance. Not at a railroad crossing with bad sight lines and no lights or gates, where vegetation, buildings, or hills block your view, where you can't see the train and you only have seconds before it hits your safe, careful self, and you die. Go to angelsontrack.org to report dangerous crossings, because careful is just no match for a 200-ton locomotive.
Peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world dedicated solely to teaching peace to a new generation. There's a new symbol for peace. Rotary.
Welcome back. Well, students at Ashland have only been here for about 3 weeks and are noticing some new changes in Convo. Ashland Tonight News reporter Mike Hartz has the story.
If you're an Ashland University student and you read on campus, chances are you've noticed the new addition of bright yellow coffee mugs in Convo. The previous mugs were discontinued nearly 5 years ago and were taken out of service over Christmas break. I recently spoke with General Manager Fred Geib, who had no problem pointing out the old mug's weakness.
They were kind of ugly coffee cups, so they weren't that attractive to anybody, and so we finally got to a point where we had to make the switch.
And that switch did come with a price tag. However, the mugs now feature the AU logo on the inside.
It's because every time someone picks up a mug, they're looking at Ashland University, and we try to drive that home and make sure that, customers, outside and internal customers see that.
One thing Convo has seen is its mugs disappear. To date, nearly 200 mugs have gone missing, and at a price of nearly $10 each, the loss is beginning to add up.
It's just expensive, and unfortunately, it does look nice, and it must be pretty attractive because they're walking out.
Convo workers are keeping a close eye on the situation. However, while serving nearly 3,000 meals a day, it is no easy task.
If you now realize how much they cost, and if you want to bring them back, feel free to stick them on the tray return. Something we're going to do this year is have an amnesty day at the end of the school year. So if you don't want a particular china that's sitting in your room, please give it back to us, and we can put it back in our inventory. We'd greatly appreciate it.
For Ashland 2 Night News, I'm Michael Hartz.
Well, the old Miller Hall has been shut down to all students, faculty, and staff this spring semester. It was realized that by closing down the building, the university would save tens of thousands of dollars in energy costs. The religion faculty have agreed to have their offices temporarily moved to the Weltmer Center in the basement of the library, while classes that were supposed to be held there have been relocated to other rooms on campus. There were also 2 computer labs in the building, and all computers have been removed but have yet to be placed anywhere.
The art faculty of Ashland University has the honor of displaying their own personal art in the Coburn Art Gallery in the basement of the Arts and Humanities building. The faculty exhibition has been up since January 18th and will remain up till February 15th, so be sure to head on over and take a look.
Hi, Mr. President. My parents believe that eating meals together will make our country strong. Is this something that you did when you were a kid?
I did eat with my family so long as my mother wasn't cooking.
Not good making fun of your mother, even if you are president, but it is good to have dinner with your kids. We know the more often children have dinner with their families, the less likely they are to smoke, drink, and use drugs. So simply having dinner together can help your children forever, even if you're not a great cook.
My name's Andy McDonald. I ride this useless wooden toy for a living. It's hard. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm still lame. I do a trick called a 540. Took me a good 6 years to learn. There's a whole generation of skateboarders out there that are just as talented athletically as any basketball or football player. It takes somebody that's not going to be afraid to fall down a lot, because you definitely will fall down. You're not a failure until you refuse to get back up. Drugs are only going to hinder what I'm trying to do. That right there is my idea of getting high.
You're a good driver, a careful driver, and you don't stand a chance. Not at a railroad crossing with bad sight lines and no lights or gates, where vegetation, buildings, or hills block your view, where you can't see the train, and you only have seconds before it hits your safe, careful self, and you die. Go to angelsontrack.org to report dangerous crossings, because careful is just no match for a 200-ton locomotive.
Does peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world dedicated solely to teaching peace to a new generation. There's a new symbol for peace. Rotary.
Welcome back. Well, this week's weather has sure been frigid, and it doesn't look like we're going to be getting a break from it anytime soon. Today we saw a high in the upper 20s, and tomorrow looks like it's just going to be about the same with a few snow showers.
And for Saturday, we can expect snow showers with a high of 15 degrees, and on Sunday there'll be more snow with only a high of only 9 degrees. It's ridiculous. It's so cold out.
Yeah, you know, the whole warm winter thing, I was really hoping that would last for a long time. Yeah,
I agree.
Well, enough cold weather talk. Let's bounce it over to Brian, who should heat things up with the AU sports teams. Brian?
Thank you, ladies. The Ashland athletic teams faced some tough competition this past weekend, matching up with national champions and Division I opponents in most every sport. Starting with the men's basketball team, they traveled to Ferris State a week ago, losing 81-78 as the Eagles remained winless on the road this season. Junior Brett Bartlett scored 21 points on 4 three-pointers to lead AU, and then the team moved on to face Grand Valley State on Saturday. The Lakers entered on a 12-game win streak and won 27 games a year ago. The Eagles were overmatched from the start, and Grand Valley's defense did not let up all day as Ashland lost 79-38. Tyler Rosenberger led the team with 8 points and 6 rebounds as AU shot 22% from the field for the game in their lowest scoring output since 1985. Ashland is now 14-8 overall and 6-6 in the league. They go on another road trip. They face Hillsdale tonight. The women's basketball team also went to Michigan last week, facing a similarly difficult schedule. At Ferris, the Lady Eagles got down 20 early, but got the deficit to 4 and then eventually fell 91-79. Amber Rawl scored 31 points in the loss for the Lady Eagles. The women then traveled to Grand Valley to face the defending national champion Lady Lakers. Up 6 at halftime, the Lakers turned up the pressure in the second half, pulling away late to win 94-61. Rawl led the Eagles in scoring with 28 points, who allowed the Lakers to shoot 73% from the floor in the second half, and the losses dropped AU to 10-11 overall and 4-8 in the GLIAC. They face Hillsdale in about an hour. The wrestling team hosted the Wendy's Big Classic Duels January 21st, defeating Air Force, but losing to Cleveland State and Ohio State. And then last weekend, the team faced Mercyhurst at Cates Gymnasium. AU lost that meet 19-17 as Kyle Kanaga, Marcus Gordon, Tony Bradbury, and Matt Allen all won on decisions. Josh Ohl stayed unbeaten this season via forfeit, but then last night, AU lost to Pitt Johnstown 26-13, and Ohl won again on decision in the heavyweight class. The Eagles are now 7-6 on the year. The men's swimming team is having a successful season, having lost just once, and that loss went to Kenyon, the premier swimming program in the nation. Last weekend, the men beat both Ohio Northern and Gannon at the Rec Center. The meet against Gannon was the team's final home meet of the season, meaning seniors such as Omar Fatella would race for the final time at home. Fatella went out on top, winning the 200 butterfly as the Eagles won 147-108. The women's swimming team is also doing well this season, beating Gannon and Hillsdale last weekend to improve to 8-3. Senior Megan Dort in her final home races as well won the 100 and 200 breaststroke. AU beat Gannon 155-117 and defeated Hillsdale by a score of 165-107. Teams will travel to Wayne State for a meet tomorrow night. The men and women of the indoor track teams competed at the Findlay Classic Open last weekend, facing many top Division I teams, and the Eagles found success both on the men's and women's sides, as the second-ranked Lady Eagles had Jenny Picucci win the triple jump, Jennifer Tinney won the shot put, Lisa Roth won the 800-meter run, and on the men's side, they are ranked number 1, as it was senior Brian Ryman winning the 400-meter dash. Nick Glavick took first in the 1-mile run. The 4x400 relay team won, and Brian Vickers placed first in the shot put. And also this Sunday, the Super Bowl ends in Miami this Sunday night on CBS between the AFC champion Indianapolis Colts and the NFC champion Chicago Bears. So be sure to tune into that one on CBS Sunday night about 6:30 p.m. Stay tuned. Ashland Tonight. We'll be right back.
Ashland Theological Seminary, transforming the world.
One pastor.
One counselor.
One city.
One campus.
One village.
One family.
One teacher.
One crisis.
One missionary.
One shelter.
One church. Transforming the world, one student at a time.
E-File. Get receipt confirmation and a quicker refund. Log on or tell your tax preparer to E-File for you and join the 53 million E-Filers who consider it done.
Kids, how do we take care of our teeth?
Brush your teeth twice a day. Floss your teeth once a day. If you want healthy teeth, do this every day. Brush your teeth.
Fight tooth decay.
Don't forget regular dental checkups, okay?
Brush your teeth twice a day. Floss your teeth once a day.
When will the next natural disaster hit? A public health crisis strike? Another terrorist threat emerge? How long will it take for help to arrive? Ohio Citizen Corps is committed to making every minute count by having volunteers ready. Physicians, nurses, teachers, retirees, everyone can help. You can make a difference. Join Ohio Citizen Corps. Call or go to serveohio.org. The time to prepare for trouble is before it hits.
Welcome back. Well, just so you blood donors are aware, the Red Cross Blood Drive is taking place right now in Redwood and will go until about 6 o'clock tonight. If you have about a half hour left, so get out there and donate.
And next week is Staff Appreciation Week. Be sure to tell your favorite Ashland University faculty and staff member that you appreciate all they do for you.
And there will be a murder mystery dinner in Redwood next Tuesday, February 6th at 5:30 p.m. Tickets are $1 for AU students and $10 for non-students. Also, since it is Staff Appreciation Week, faculty and staff get a buy one ticket, get one free deal.
Sounds good. And attention all juniors, your senior apartment applications are due by next Friday, February 9th. If you plan to live in apartments, be sure to get those papers in ASAP. And you want to do that.
Yes, those apartments are gorgeous.
They are. They really are. And, after living in the dorms for 3 years, it's nice to have something big to live in.
It's well earned.
Well, that about does it for us here at TV2. Be sure to tune in again in 2 weeks for another edition of Ashland Tonight News.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.